given a free role to operate. That is one. Two, is the board or management going to give him an assistant, or he will bring his technical men to do their job?
The head coach of Mediama Sporting Club, at a point that Mediama needed him much, he resigned. A couple of days he's been on board by Accra. As a board chair, how are you sure that at a point where he will lift us up to?
Coach Boedu has arrived at a place that has been his desire for many years. We have gotten someone who has been our dream for many years. We shall provide for him an environment in which he will thrive, an environment in which he will develop professionally. We believe we can count on his loyalty and his commitment. And we believe that in the unlikely event that bigger opportunities arise, he would leave for us solid foundation on which we can continue to build. We believe we can count on his commitment to Hearts. As I've told you, he's been a fan of Hearts since his youthful days. We have no doubt about his long-term commitment to our vision. The Pobyman dream far predates recent supporter agitations, which are uncalled for in the first place. Uncalled for because yes, a club that has been doing very well, meeting all of its obligations to its technical people and to its players. There is no need to want to build Pobyman to just patronize, to quote your word, supporters. The development of Pobyman is an integral part of our strategy to build infrastructure that will support our vision. And we had expected Pobyman to be completed before the end of last year, but for COVID disruptions. Secondly, we had thought from the very onset that once Pobyman was built, we did not need or would not need all the staff we have now as Secretariat, because most of the club activities will be centered at Pobyman. That is why we had thought that once the structures are completed, Secretariat staff will move to Pobyman. But let me remind you, where we are now, the Secretariat, we are seated on very prime land from which the club can derive more benefit than it's taking today. So part of the plan for building Pobyman is to be able to send most of the Secretariat staff to Pobyman, okay? And we intend now to do that as soon as possible to pave way for the redevelopment of our head office building. And the whole idea is that the club can derive not only income from that, but also image development. secretariat befitting the status of Accra House of Folk. That's what we want. It has nothing to do with what the supporters want. Supporters never commanded us to build Pobiman. We are building Pobiman. We want, as part of that, take the advantage and develop the head office. Once there's an alternative for housing secretariat staff, we should be able to pull that old building down, redevelop it. We want to do that so that this year would be a seminal one for our club. The year would have developed Pobiman. The year would have rebuilt our head office to commemorate our 110th anniversary. Remember, we'll be 110 years old, November 11, 2021. So these are well thought out plans. When we talk about building Pobiman, nobody believed it. But it's now happening. Nobody doubts it anymore. Okay? Head office building has been part of the plans. It's been kept under wraps. We want to perform and be recognized by what we have achieved. We want to talk so much less. That was why even Pobiman, by the time it was announced, work was already being done to realize its completion. So trust us, it is not about patronizing anybody, because we know what we are doing, and those who are close to the club, who love the club, know that this board means well. We would have a better head office building than any club in the country. We would have a training complex that is second to none in the country. And those are things that we need to be able to build a solid image for the future that we aspire for this club. A meeting. And at the end of that meeting, we are introducing our coach and our new player, okay? A technical head, such an important member of the staff, if not one of the most important, really. In most clubs abroad, you hardly know who the MD is, who the chairman is, but the manager or the head coach is well known, which means that invariably he's the most important personality. And in all these clubs abroad, the technical head earns more money than the chairman, than the managing director. So if the chairman of the club is not available for his outdooring, I don't know what else will be important enough to attract or to deserve the presence of the chairman. So we take this occasion very seriously, and that is why I'm here. That's why my colleague board members are here. It is no indication whatsoever of how much involved we shall be in the management of Accra House of Folk. We have only been involved as much as board of directors need to be involved. And that, I can assure you, would be the case going forward. We shall perform our board duties in the interest of the club, in the interest of its shareholders, and the interest of all other stakeholders. Thank you.
The culture at Enviable is a bit different in terms of the structure, the technical structure that they do have. I know they have, for example, a wide network of scouts that they do have in place. You said you were going to appoint his backroom staff and having control over transfers and recruitment.
You know,